Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Gen X Living Life. If you're new here, welcome. If you're back, welcome back. We're happy to have you. My name is Maggie,
And I'm Penny.
and today we're going to talk about how the stars from the 1960s TV shows have influenced Gen X a little bit. Um, Us Gen Xers, we think we're getting old. But you know what? There are TV stars from the 60s TV shows that we used to watch that are older. And they're still with us. And who are these big stars of the reruns that we watched as kids and teens? And what became of them? And how did they influence us personally and maybe as a generation? So we're going to talk about those. We're going to list a few of our favorite TV shows and the stars that are still here with us, thank goodness, as
Mhm.
of this taping anyway, at the end of May of 2024. So we're going to kick it off with the first show and the first person we want to talk about, who is
It's Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie. She was my
Bar.
favorite. She had
She was
magical
my favorite
powers,
too.
beautiful, so many qualities that I really liked.
She had it all.
Yeah, she did. And yeah, she's still with us, 92 years young. Can you believe that?
92 years young, and she looks
She
amazing.
does.
For 92,
Mm-hmm.
she's her figure's still intact. She
Mm-hmm.
still has her signature blonde hair,
Mm-hmm. Great
and just
smile. Yeah, everything.
yeah, worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
So, being that she her character lived in Florida, and you kind of envision Cocoa Beach a certain way. And if you go to Cocoa Beach in that area, it still kind of has that little 60s look to it
Mm-hmm.
in some neighborhoods. It's really cute. It's very quaint. It's almost quintessential
Yeah.
Florida. When they show um, Major Nelson's house,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of fun, but it's the influence was that anything is possible.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we didn't have limitations.
Right.
Although the character Major Nelson had some serious hang up
He did.
issues. He had some major what the hell wrong
I
with
don't know
him.
what psychological classification he goes into, but yeah, he did have some issues.
I don't know. I was like, you got a woman here that will do anything and everything for you. And you're like, no.
I want to do things the hard way. I'm like,
Let
come
me do
on,
everything the
just do
hard
it the
way.
easy way. Come on, you guys.
But unfortunately, the rest of the cast members
They
are no
have
longer
passed
with
on.
us. But
Yeah.
Barbara is. Thank
Mhm.
you, Barbara. Hope
Yeah.
you watch this one
I
day.
know, right?
But if you don't know that, you're in our thoughts and we're thinking
Yeah.
about you and
Yeah.
we
She's
admire
the
you.
best. Yeah.
That leads into another hard headed male influence in Bewitched. Darren, again,
Yeah.
doesn't want to let the world know that
Hmm.
his wife is fantastic,
Hmm.
Samantha. But unfortunately, Elizabeth Montgomery
Has
and
passed
both
on.
Darren's
Yeah.
and Dora, they're no longer there. But little Tabitha, Erin Murphy, is still with us.
Yeah. And
And
she's 60.
she's
Yeah.
60.
Yeah. Hmm.
She's just before Gen X.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was a
Just before
baby on
Gen
the
X.
show, like a toddler on the show
Yeah, she
at
was
the
a little
time.
baby, but she was cute as a button.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, out of the whole cast, she's what remains, or she is who remains. Um, but I enjoyed that show a whole
Yeah.
lot. It shows women that are capable, and also the struggles between being in the middle with your
Hmm.
in-laws. It helps you
Hmm.
deal with your in-laws a little bit. The struggle
Wow.
between Darren and Endora, and
Hmm.
poor Samantha had to be in the middle.
That's right. That's right.
They,
Yeah, she had a lot of things going on. I don't know how she juggled all of that, but she
and
did
then
it.
she had to hide who she was.
Yeah.
It was just like she struggled with trying to be, an average human,
Hmm.
and sometimes a little magic helped things along the
It
way.
did. It did. Yeah, she had family members that were just popping up all over the place. And it was great how
What a
she,
nightmare.
both Barbara Eden and Elizabeth Montgomery, they both played alter egos. Remember that?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Why was the why were the alter egos always brunette?
yeah, I noticed that. And the good ones were like blondish or light haired, you know. It was a
But I like the
stereotype.
alter egos better though,
Yeah.
didn't I? Didn't
Yeah.
you? I'm like,
It shows a lot of
yeah.
acting range, for them. It's amazing because they actually had to act like different people altogether.
Yeah, they had to
It's
be
pretty
their
cool.
opposite,
Mhm. It's pretty
which is
cool
pretty fun.
back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So the next one is one of my
Yeah.
favorite TV shows of all time is Star Trek.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows that I love Star Trek, and I'll say that my first crush was
Really?
William
I
Shatner,
had
was
no
Captain
idea.
Kirk. Yes.
Love that.
My second crush, we will cover that on
Yeah.
another
Mhm.
but celebrity crush, okay, was William Shatner. I mean, and he is still with us at
Mhm.
93 years
Yeah.
old and still
Amazing.
handsome as ever and
Amazing.
active.
Mhm.
He's out there. He's
Yeah.
out there doing it.
Like
He's
a
out there
regular
on
day, just whatever.
yeah, he's out there doing guest spots,
Yeah.
shows, conventions. The man's everywhere. I'm
I
thinking,
don't
where
know.
does he get all this
I
energy?
know. It's
And
amazing.
that is amazing. George Takei and
Also.
Walter Koenig
Mhm.
also. They're George and Walter are both 87,
Yeah, yeah.
but you wouldn't know it. They're just
I know George Takei. He
these
is on social media, just like anything, with us kids, and it's just like I say, like as if he was
yeah,
still, in his 30s and 40s, very
these
lucid,
gents,
everything.
w-
Yeah.
whatever they took in the
Yeah.
60s has
Right.
carried over into the
It
2000s,
worked.
20s. It's worked.
Uh,
We want some of that.
yeah,
We
right?
need some of that. But
Oh my God.
those gents have got it
Mhm.
together, and they're William and George and Walter. They're
Yeah.
there and they're doing great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we also lost a lot of the cast. That was
Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols,
Mhm.
um, uh,
I got to see
Scotty.
her. I got to see her
Yeah.
at the 50th year convention.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah, still very gorgeous. I was so happy. I was like, I just was like so starstruck when I saw her.
I always thought she was very elegant.
Yes, very elegant. I loved her. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a show that I still watch to this day,
Hmm.
reruns
Hmm. Yeah.
as well.
She
But
has it
oh yeah,
together.
they had it together and they had the longevity gene, all of
They
them,
did.
it seems like. So that's great. Well, in the sci-fi genre, there's also
Oh,
what's the next
Lost in
show?
Space, which I loved. That was a great, great show. And, the way that show influenced me is how I got my name because
Oh
we
yeah.
always played Lost in Space and I would kind of stay in character. I'm Penny Robinson. But the reason why she's my idol is because compared to her sister, Julie was kind of wimpy, a little bit scaredy cat, but Penny was strong willed, intelligent. She wasn't afraid of anything. So I was like, I want to be like her. So
Hmm.
that's why I kind of stayed with the name Penny. So
Yeah, that's Penny is played by Angela Cartwright,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
who is still with us. She's 71.
Yep.
And
Oh,
her
yeah.
sister, played by Marta Kristen, she's 79.
Mm-hmm.
And younger brother, Will Robinson, Bill Mummy, he's 70. And Bill Mummy, I think, is active in a lot of
He
things.
is. Yeah. I see his
Um,
name pop up here and there. And I'm like, wow, he's still
yeah,
around.
I
Still
think
doing
he's in
stuff.
a lot of the Comic Con
Mm-hmm.
type
Yeah. He goes to those. Yeah.
conventions and things like that. And so he's very famous among that. But he's if somebody in our generation heard of Bill Mummy, we got that picture in our head
Mm-hmm.
exactly who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And their
and he was
mom is
in a
still
lot of
alive
things too.
too. Their mom is still alive, June
Yes,
Lockhart. Yeah.
exactly. June Lockhart, and she's 98.
Mm. Wow.
So she's reaching
Yeah.
centenarian. What is it? Centurion. What the
I don't want
100
to.
out of
She's almost a century old. Almost there,
she's up there. I'll get it
which
right.
is awesome. Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, and she also played a strong woman as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
She was first of all, to go off to do an adventure in space,
Hmm.
with your husband and all of that stuff. She took care of the family. She was their rock, really. The husband did his work
Hmm.
with their crew, and then the kids, and then they got off and got into trouble. And thank
Yeah.
goodness for Robbie,
It's a
the
good
robot,
show.
that
Yeah.
corralled Bill Mummy, or else he would have fallen off the edge of the moon or something.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, but
It's a good show. I
she
liked
helped.
it.
Yeah, I mean, they helped us learn responsibility
Hmm. Oh,
and to try
definitely.
new things. To not be afraid of the world around us.
Hmm.
I think.
And just to make
Would
it
you
work, you're
agree?
out there in space. You can't like,
Uh-huh.
leave. You're there. You have to make it work you know,
You,
in a spaceship.
I'll turn this spaceship around.
We're going right back home.
That's it.
Not gonna happen.
Forget this vacation on this faraway planet.
Oh my god! And you know what show I like too? Batman. I
I
liked
love
Batman too,
Batman.
and all the like the expressions, the pow, the bam, and the
We
so
I that
silly.
was always on after school,
Yeah,
and so that
that's
was
the
part of
first
the
thing.
after
Yeah,
school TV watching,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it
That
was
was.
Batman. I love that
I
show. That
know,
was so fun.
I know. And Julie Newmar is still alive. She's
Julie Newmar,
90.
she
Yeah,
is 90.
that's
That's
crazy.
Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
There
Mm-hmm.
were three Catwomen, Eartha Kitt,
Mm-hmm. The
and
best. She's the best. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and I should mention, in the movie was Lee Merriweather.
Yeah, that's right.
She gets an honorable mention because Lee Merriweather was in everything.
A lot of things. You see her all over the place. Yeah.
If in every 60s show, she was in it
Mm-hmm.
as a one or twice off appearance.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. She was
Mm-hmm.
in everything.
Yeah, she
So,
was. And also
uh,
Batman is still with us too. Burt Ward. Oh no, that's not Batman. I'm sorry. That's Robin, right? Robin is still
Robin.
with us. Yeah.
Batman,
I
unfortunately,
forgot.
he recently passed a couple of
Yeah.
years ago, I
Yeah.
think. But Burt Ward is still with us. He's 78.
Wow, that's
So, yeah,
crazy. Yeah, another show
yeah.
I love too, the funny shows Cal Burnett show. Great
Oh,
show.
that was a reason to stay up late on Saturday
Yeah,
night
yeah. Loved
because
it.
that
Loved
came
it.
on at 10 o'clock on Saturdays,
Oh, you remember that? I remember
10
that.
p.m. I remember the lineup. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty good. She is 91 and she's still alive. And then Vicki Lawrence is 75. I thought they were like closer in age, but they aren't, but
No, they're not. I know that Carol Burnett looked at her, at Vicki Lawrence as a younger sister.
mm-hmm.
I mean, because she hired her, Carol Burnett hired Vicki Lawrence because she felt she looked like a younger version
Oh, okay. I see. I
of
see.
her, so she could play the younger sister,
Got it.
and
Hmm.
that little dynamic and
Yeah, and she played the
everything.
older, what was it, Mama or something? She did. She was
She was
great.
Vicki Lawrence was fantastic
Yeah.
in Mama's Family,
Yeah.
and she played Mama in on the Carol Burnett
Mm-hmm.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Burnett, she is a diversified
She
entertainer.
is very much so. Yeah, she does a lot. Plus, she's not someone that always has to have the spotlight. She knew that like Harvey Korman and I forgot the other guy,
Tim
Tim
Conway,
Conway. She knew that
yeah,
they were also very good, and she wasn't going to steal their light. But they all worked together. You don't
they
see
all
that
worked together,
sometimes.
and
Yeah,
they made that show work. And
hilarious.
one thing about Carol Burnett is that she seems like a very grateful,
Yeah, and gracious.
humble,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and gracious lady.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she would, like you said, she would give others the
Yeah.
spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
grateful that we're friends." And oh, I'm getting misty because that
Yeah.
that's one thing that I think I took away from her, is that she was entertaining, she was funny, she was outgoing, and she was gracious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I
You can
say
see it. Yeah.
strike the word was and replace it with is.
Is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
she's still with us, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that they're with us for many more years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in the vein of variety shows, there was another very colorful, very fast paced
Very
comedy
wild
show,
out there.
very wild and groovy, called Laugh-In.
Mm-hmm. That was a great
And
show. Yeah.
that was Laugh-In. And we have there was a huge cast, but I think there are only 4 out of that cast, that are left. The males are all gone, but, the majority of the female cast are still with us. Ruth Buzzy, and
Mhm.
she was in a lot of things
She
as
was
well.
all over. Yeah. She was on
She
the
was
Carol
all
Burnett
over the
show too. She would like, I guess they kind
Yeah,
of interchanged a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm, and she was very fun. She was even on Sesame Street
Mm-hmm.
for a
A lot of
while.
people are on Sesame Street, which I think is a cool show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, Ruth Buzzy's 87,
Hmm.
Goldie Hawn, and she was one of the go-go dancers with the,
Yes. The go-go
tattoos all
boots.
around her.
Yeah, I know. And the
Yeah,
long hair. And yeah,
and
so
the
cute.
dumb blonde. She, she's 78 years old.
Hmm.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I'll always remember her as the young woman. I think
Hmm.
she was only 18 years old when she was on that
Probably.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how long ago that show was.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
Lily Tomlin's had a fantastic
Career.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and, she's 84. But yeah, Lily Tomlin's incredibly talented.
Hmm.
And Joanne Worley, she'd be do you remember her? Do you know which one she is?
She has dark hair, right?
She's dark hair, she's the tall one with the dark hair and, very loud.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And, she marched to the beat of her own
Hmm.
drum,
Yeah.
and, she was a party all by herself,
Hmm. Hmm.
big personality and
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
And,
Definitely.
she is 86
6.
years
Hmm.
old. So remember,
Wow.
folks, it's as of the taping of this show.
Hmm.
That's what we're going
Hmm.
by.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a really popular show
Loved
in
it.
the 60s, and the what caught my eye when I was a kid watching it was the fact that it was, kids don't have a huge attention span, and so it would always move around a whole lot, and
Hmm.
it was very colorful
Hmm. Yeah.
because they had all the paisleys and all those,
Yeah, and there's always
bright
something going
colors.
on. Like there was never a lull. They would move from
There
one
was
thing to the next, to the
Yeah,
next, to the next. Yeah.
and watching it as an adult, you realize, okay, every all the jokes were of that era,
Hmm.
but there were fun things that they would say, like, "You bet your bippy," or things like that, but it was just funny and fast-paced,
Yeah.
and I remember it for that,
Hmm.
not so much for whatever it is that they talked about
Hmm.
because a lot of it was really meant for adults.
Hmm. Yeah.
That went over our head,
Right.
but it was fun to just watch. It was visually stimulating.
Right. That's what it was for us. Yeah, pretty
Mhm.
much. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you like to watch those serious, like, kind of investigative, kind of shows like Mission Impossible? Remember
I
that?
like Mission Impossible. I did because that's also, a show that was good for somebody that had short attention span in the beginning and in the end. In the middle, it kinda lagged
Well,
to
it was a
me.
show that you don't know what it's about when you you don't know what they're doing. You kind of have
That's
to
true.
figure it out, like, oh, it was very mysterious. You get this recording, then it disintegrates, right? It's
But the
gone.
music the
Yeah, the
music
music
is
is great.
outstanding.
And I would
The
watch that little
score?
match. Yeah, that little match thing going to the end and it would start again, like,
Oh,
where they burn
yeah.
that match, that line that goes across the TV.
It's
Remember
like,
that?
where is it? Where did I didn't even know for the longest time till almost adulthood that that was a dynamite
Oh,
stick.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know, I know.
But I'm like, "What is it that they're burning? What is this line?" Like, that never made sense to me.
Yeah, but it's like they knew exactly what to do without talking to each other. It's like they all had their skills. I
And their
was like,
skills,
this is expert level. Like the guy,
they understood the mission.
yeah, they knew Yep, exactly. Yeah, they understood the mission, and they're just like the one guy that was very quiet with the dark hair. He
Yeah.
never talked, but he always knew exactly what to do, and he did it.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah.
And, hard to believe, but some of those stars are still with us
Hmm. Hmm.
today.
Hmm.
Peter Lupus, he played,
The
I
guy
don't
with the
remember
dark
his
hair.
name.
I remember his
The
name, but
guy with
he's
the
the
dark
one that I was
hair.
just talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was the younger one who was
Hmm.
very strong,
Hmm.
like a
Good looking
bodybuilder,
guy. Yeah,
very
yeah.
good looking, and he's still with us. He's 91 years old.
Crazy.
91. Wow, and he
Hmm.
still looks great.
Hmm.
Barbara Bain, who
Hmm.
was one of the original cast members
Oh,
as well,
she was married to Martin Landau, who was
Martin
also on
Landau.
the show.
who's also on
Yeah,
the show,
yeah.
but unfortunately passed.
Right, right.
But Barbara's still with us. She's 92.
Wow. Gorgeous lady. Yeah.
Gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
very classy,
Mm-hmm.
very,
Yeah.
very sophisticated, elegant lady.
Then like
Yeah.
the other side of that is the parody Get Smart, which I also loved. That was a
Get
great show.
Smart. I love that show. Also great music
Mm-hmm.
for the
Yeah.
introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was a great cast. Don Adams was hilariously
He's great.
funny.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Don Adams is no longer with us.
Mhm.
But Barbara Felton, age at 99,
91 right now.
she's not well, she's 91, but
Hmm.
she was age at 99.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, sorry about that.
She'll be 99 eventually.
Eventually she'll get there. Hopefully she'll still be around. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And Bernie Capel, who was the chaos agent,
Hmm. Hmm.
he's 90, so he's still with
Was
us.
he the same guy in Love Boat? No, right?
He's a
He's the
doctor.
doctor on
Yeah.
Love Boat. Okay. Oh, he
Hmm.
got around. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was very popular. So that was another show that just gave me lots of laughs.
Hmm. I like that.
So, but yeah, it's, these shows, um, that was just part of our childhood.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And they
that was
also had
something that,
the Munsters and Addams Family. Those shows told me that monsters are not scary, that they're actually funny.
yeah, looks are in the eye of the beholder, I
Right.
guess. And the Addams family, it's like, who cares if you're weird?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
It sort of shows people that think, oh my gosh, his family is weird. But the weird family doesn't realize they're weird.
Right. They feel
It's
normal.
everybody else.
Yeah.
They feel normal. They think everybody else
Else
is
is
weird.
weird. Yeah. It was great. Those two shows, I really like them. You know.
Oh, yeah. Those shows were so fun and so fun. And the nice thing about those shows, you could watch them with your family.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the little kids laugh as hard as
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
parents.
The only thing
And we
that
would all get the
scared
joke
me, yeah, a little bit was the hand. That scared me a little bit.
thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Coming out of the
I
box, that
wasn't
scared me
I
a little
wasn't
bit.
afraid of thing. I was afraid of Spot.
Oh.
Spot was the dragon that lived underneath the stairs in the Munsters house. It was that horrible sound that he
Hmm.
made.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not the fire, but the horrible
That's
sound.
so funny.
But the Munsters family, all who are left is Butch
The
Patrick,
sun.
and he played Eddie.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's 70 years old. And there were two Marilyns. One Marilyn, Pat Priest, is still with us.
Hmm.
She's 87,
Hmm.
and she's a beautiful
Yeah.
lady.
Gorgeous.
And Butch Patrick was a cutie pie little kid, even with all the makeup. He was just cute as button.
Yeah.
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 And very normal acting, which is funny because they act so normal
Hmm.
in spite of their
Hmm.
costume.
Hmm. Hmm. I know, I know. And then the
I,
Adams family, shockingly, the only person, John Aston, the dad is still alive. He's 94,
'94,
out of the whole cast.
Gomez.
Yeah, which is crazy, huh?
Yeah, and Gomez was as eccentric as they come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was he played that character really
He
well.
did. He did. They all
He
did,
did.
like he would like kiss Morticia's arm, he was like so funny. I mean, I just
Whenever she spoke French.
only when she spoke French.
Yeah.
Like who thought of that stuff, It's great.
But it showed that, Adam's family and the Munsters kind of teach you that you could be yourself
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and the heck with everybody
Mm-hmm.
else
Mm-hmm.
type of a thing.
Yeah, everybody else is
Um,
weird. You're not weird.
yeah. So what's normal? Right?
Yeah.
So, but another funny show was Gilligan's
Yeah,
Island.
loved it. Loved
That's the original Big Brother.
it. They're all so great though. I loved that show,
So, so what do you get when you put, two working class sailors,
Mhm.
right? A Hollywood actress, a
Mhm.
farm girl, an intellectual, and a couple of millionaires
Mhm.
together.
Mhm.
I mean, how different could those personalities be that they had to coexist on an island?
It was great. I just can't say enough. I mean, I still remember the theme song we were singing it the other day.
When my middle son was a baby.
Okay, you can start back with when your son was little.
Yeah, well, my middle son was a baby, and he did not want to be put away in his crib to go to sleep. I would sing him lullabies, and I didn't know that many lullabies really. I don't know. I used to learn them when I was little, but I couldn't remember any of them. So I started singing them the theme songs from all
From the
the
TV
shows from the
shows.
60s.
Worked like a charm, didn't it?
It worked like a charm. So I would sing him the Adams Family, the Gilligan's Island theme, all those shows.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of them that had lyrics to them,
Hmm.
I sang.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
but one of the ones that had lyrics was Gilligan's
Hmm.
Island,
Hmm.
and so I used to sing that one to him all the time.
That's great.
So, but out of everyone on Gilligan's Island, the only castaway left is Tina Louise,
Mm,
Ginger,
Ginger, the movie
and
star.
the movie star, and she's 90 years old
Hmm.
and still kicking it,
Right?
still looking amazing.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's I don't know, those that were born in the 30s, it seems like they've got some longevity going.
Something. I don't know what it
Something.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're doing good. But
Hmm.
yeah, talk about trying to have all those people from different walks of life coexisting on an island
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And they all had their different
having
skill
to make it work
sets.
out.
Yeah, they had their
Yeah.
different skill sets, right? Like entertainment, money, I guess. Not that it had any value, but yeah.
Yeah, the money didn't have any value. And the
uh,
wardrobe they had.
that was so cool. For a
The
three
only ones
hour
that
cruise, right? They had
for
all
3-hour
that
cruise.
luggage.
The only ones that had the same clothes in and out was the Professor
Gilly.
Gilligan and the
Yeah,
skipper.
yep, that's right.
Yeah, everybody else had a wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
uh, especially Mrs.
So,
Howe.
yeah, yeah. And the movies and Ginger too. They all did, yeah.
Yeah, she had her. I mean, they always look her not a hair out of place. They
Mm-hmm.
always look put together.
It was great. Another show I like too, the Beverly Hillbillies. Remember them?
I remember them.
Buddy Epson. Yeah, it was a good show. I liked it.
It was a good show. It was so entertaining. Granny,
Mm-hmm.
ornery little Granny,
Yeah,
and
she was like
tomboy Ellie
really,
Mae.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She was feisty. She was a feisty
yeah,
granny.
and silly but beautiful
Hmm.
Jethro, Max Bear.
It's so funny. He was
Yeah,
such
Jethro,
like a dumb guy, like but good
like a dumb
looking.
hick. Yeah, real. He had like what a third grade education or
Something.
something like that. But he was so lovable and he
Yeah.
was so handsome
Yep.
too
Yep.
at the
Yeah.
same time, and but Jethro is the last one. He is all that's left of the Beverly Hillbillies, and
Mm-hmm.
he is 86 years old
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and,
Wow.
still together,
Mm-hmm.
Um, the next show is the Dick Van Dyke Show, and Dick Van Dyke himself is 98 years old.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was also in, Mary
Mm-hmm.
Poppins,
Mm-hmm.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
A lot of stuff.
um, Diagnosis Murder.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he was in a lot of things, and he's 98 and he's still active. I think he does social media a little bit,
Hmm. I don't
but
know, but
yeah, but
that's
he's
pretty good.
reaching the centenarian age.
Mm-hmm. Almost a
Uh,
century old. Yeah.
and the actor who played his son, Richie, Larry Matthews, is 68.
Mm.
So, yeah, he's there, and those are the last two. Unfortunately, Mary Tyler Moore has passed.
Mm.
Rosemary,
Yeah, a lot of them, huh?
Maury Amsterdam, all of them are gone. And but Dick
Yeah.
Van Dyke was also act real silly. He did a lot of
A lot of
slapstick and
stunts and stuff like that. Very a lot of physical comedy.
He did
Yeah.
a lot of physical comedy, a lot of stunts, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like he looked like he was made out of rubber or something.
Yeah, he was a dancer. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, mhm.
Hmm.
So, as far as, family shows go, the Andy Griffith Show
It's a great show.
was a very good show. It was very long running.
Hmm.
But Ron Howard, um, out of the original cast members,
It's
he's
still,
still with us at
yeah.
70, and he is a very successful actor and director. He directed a
A
lot
lot of
of great
movies.
movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of those Hollywood success stories. He really didn't
As a
get into
child actor,
trouble.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And he's still going strong at 70. I mean,
Mhm.
he's still like in his prime right now. You know?
Exactly, exactly, and he's produced a whole lot of, fantastic
Hmm.
movies, and
Yeah.
speaking of families, we got one of the big families, uh,
Brady
the
Bunch
Brady Bunch. Yeah, um, unfortunately, mom and dad and Alice
had
are
passed
no
away.
longer
Yeah.
they're no longer with us, but all of the kids are still, with us, the oldest being Barry Williams, who played Greg,
Hmm.
and he's 69 years old, and the youngest, Cindy, who's Susan Olsen, she is 62,
Hmm.
and she's the little blonde with curls.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then of course everybody else, Marsha, Jan,
Hmm.
and
Peter,
Peter,
Bobby.
and Bobby. Yeah, they're in between that range,
Hmm.
69
The
and
middle children.
62.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're still with us, thank goodness.
Hmm.
And they're still young
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
My three sons, that was a widowed father,
Hmm.
and the old guy was the uncle, right?
Yeah. The older with
Yeah,
the bald head. Yeah. Kind of.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then, of course, three sons, he was trying to raise three boys with the help of the uncle. And we watched them all grow up and get married and everything. But out of all of them, Barry and Stanley Livingston, who are the actors, are still with us.
The brothers. Yeah.
The two brothers, they played brothers, and they're brothers in real life.
Hmm.
And so that's what we've got. And those that shows that we enjoyed as well, like Hogan's Heroes, Mr. Ed,
Bonanza,
Bonanza. I
Ironside. Yeah.
Unfortunately, those major players are no longer with
Yeah.
us.
Hmm.
They're all past. And we finally have the honorable mentions. We mentioned Lee Merriweather, who was the Catwoman in Batman. She was also in one of the episodes of Star Trek. She was just about in
She's in a
everything you
lot of
can think of.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was almost in everything in the
Hmm.
60s. She may have been in Mission Impossible at one point, but
Probably.
there was nothing she didn't touch. She was multi-talented.
And
But
gorgeous. Hmm.
because she wasn't a member of an ensemble cast, we're putting her as an honorable mention.
Hmm.
And the same with Eleanor Donahue. She was in everything. She started out with Father Knows Best.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, and she was in the Andy Griffith Show. She was in a Star Trek episode. She was, again, another actress who was in just about
Like
everything,
omnipresent, right?
omnipresent, but she wasn't a main cast member.
Hmm.
So I give those two ladies who are still with us, by the way.
Hmm.
Eleanor Donahue is 87.
Yeah.
Lee Merriweather is
88.
88. And those two lovely ladies are still with us. And we just wanted to make sure that they were recognized
Mhm.
and that we do remember them fondly watching those TV shows from the 60s.
Yeah, it's a great era. I mean, we grew up with TV. That was our babysitter. So they
Yeah.
definitely influenced us in so many ways. It was a great
Oh, yes.
time.
It was a great time. So, anyway, hopefully you remember those TV shows fondly. And if you remember any more details we'd like to know about them, please leave a comment down below. Also, it would help us a lot if you left a like. And if you subscribe, that would just make our day. So, please do that. And we hope that you join us on the next show. So, take
Thank you.
care.
Bye.
Bye.